Unlock your potential every Thursday with our podcast, Refresh, Relax, Renew. Join Coach Racquel as she guides you through personal development journeys. Each episode focuses on actionable steps to enhance your personal journey. The podcast features 3 main segments to keep you engaged. We start with discussions on trending topics relevant to your growth. Then we unbox solutions to common challenges we face daily. Finally, stay updated with fresh funding opportunities each week. Tune in every Thursday for new episodes, and see you there.
All right, so today we got a few things like that, some clothes, just a couple of things, and we unbox them. You'll see them when we get to it, but I just want to say thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, and I want to say a very special thank you to a very special viewer or subscriber that I have. Her name is Althea Tomlinson, and she is just an angel. And in this moment, I just want to thank her as a subscriber, someone who has been a loyal watcher. Is that a word? Yeah, of this program. She is so supportive, and she always watches it when it goes live, no matter how early or how late it is, based on her time. And I just want to say to her, thank you so much. I see it, and I pray that God rewards you a millionfold. Thank you to the people who I spoke about today. Thank you for your story, your experience, and I pray God be with you, and you will be victorious. Cassie and Sean Combs, you will be victorious. I don't care what you have to go through. Just please do your self-work. Do your self-work, and you must see the breakthrough, because none of these breakdowns are for naught. God is an intentional God. God is a God of purpose. He's a God of wisdom, and He doesn't take us through big things or little things for no reason. There is a divine purpose connect, and my job is to pay attention, to learn, to do my self-work so I can get my breakthroughs. Thank you so much. Let's get into it. I love to open new packages. I want to deliver the latest information on top funding opportunities for entrepreneurs who are seeking funding. Come along with me. I'm Coach Racquel, and this is a passion project for me, so I am so happy to bring this to you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching. Oh, hello, and welcome back to my podcast. Oh my goodness, we are at the season finale for season 1, and this is our final episode 13 for this season, and I am so grateful to be here. And of course, today promises to be just as exciting as the others. I'm so happy to be here with you today. It is a pleasure to be here with you. How are you doing? How are you? Let us do our self-check. How am I feeling? How are you feeling? How am I? Oh my gosh, somebody's calling me. I apologize for that. Okay, so how are you feeling today? How's everything going? Are you having a good day? Are you having a good month, a good year? How is everything going? Are you feeling good about yourself? How are you emotionally? Are you emotionally okay? Is everything all right? Hang on, I think my light is a little high. Yes, right. So, and I have to make sure everything is set up properly. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so grateful. I'm so humbled. I'm so thankful that you've stayed with me. You've been here with me. You continue this journey with me. There's a song I wrote. I just want to share a part of the lyrics with you today. It's called Love Somebody. Right? Can you see it properly? Can you see it? I hope you can see it. And of course, my book is on Amazon if you want to or not. It's up to you. Anyway, so it reads, love somebody, help somebody, hug somebody, give somebody, trust somebody, serve somebody, relieve somebody, Forgive, forgive, forgive. Life is a hard road. Beautiful though, beautiful though it flows. Surely, I know, you and me together, we're so much stronger. Love somebody, help somebody, hug somebody, give somebody. Yeah. So that's what I'm sharing for today. Now we are going to go into our ASMR moment. And remember, during this moment, I need you to breathe, relax, shake it off, get ready for the next segment. But before we go into that segment, we want to make sure that our minds are clear, that we have positive thoughts, and all that good stuff, right? Okay, so let's get into our ASMR moment. Here with you today. I'm really truly happy to be here. It's been a lovely morning. I hope you've had a lovely morning. And yeah, we're just going to get on with it. All right, all right, all right, all right. Okay. So remember to relax and to breathe as we go through this segment. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Mm. Remember, inhale, exhale, relax, look at the ocean. Wow. Isn't it a beautiful view? Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. I hope you enjoyed that. That was pretty cool. I enjoyed every second of it, and I hope you did too. All right. So now we are going to go into our next segment. And this segment is really, really important to me, as you know. And as we head into this segment, I ask of you, please, to remember that everyone has a story. And instead of criticizing, let's open our minds and learn, right? Let's get into it. People were influencing. When you say this one is a complete monster, this one's a complete victim, people it's real humans that are listening. You don't know where that can lead to. I hear people saying, oh, they're trying to show how he was a violent person for so long. Let me tell you something. Do you know that someone can use false information against you, and that just build over time? And if you're a person who's busy and trying to build, you say, oh, I'm not going to pay attention to the lies. That lie can snowball. And then everything start adding up, and people start saying, I've been through some things.
Wow.
I've watched people who've known me to work look at me like I've never worked a day in my life. And I'm so busy trying to build my own life that I'm like, that's not true. So I'm moving on. And now I understand. I'm a YouTuber, right?
Yes.
And now as a YouTuber, I found myself doing something that I always wonder why YouTubers do that. When you stop to explain yourself. When they stop to explain. No, when I said that, I used to say to myself, so what if they get, that's what they get, just move on. No, you have to clarify these days.
Yeah.
Because that thing can snowball and snowball and snowball. And if I'm coming after you, all I have to do is look for your vulnerable areas. I just need to look where someone said you did something and come back with that. As in the case, I remember I was trying to find this clip, but I couldn't find it. Where this young lady who worked with him, she was talking about. She said the amount of calls she got. She was talking to Dr. Umar Johnson. She said there were so many calls that she got that if she wanted just to make money, she just make some money off Diddy. She said, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it because it wasn't true. And she said, what I saw people who they would come and we're doing the work, and he was there all the time, because he's the money person. But every now and then he would show up. And when when they hear, oh, he's coming today, there are persons who would literally go and change their clothes, put on some little short things and things like that. I remember I was watching, I think it's, oh gosh, I don't remember who the actor was, but it's a well-known black actor. I don't know if it's Samuel Jackson or it's not Morgan Freeman. I don't remember who it is. But I remember he was sitting and he was being interviewed by a lady, and he said to her, so how, I'm paraphrasing, why are you dressed like that? I can see all up under you. What is this? What I'm trying, and with the Harvey Weinstein situation, I saw on the video where she sat with him. There was a table. He was sitting there, and apparently, allegedly, his hand was going up her thigh. She said in the video, too high, too high, too high. I'm going to continue reading. We've got to find fairness because our children, we plant seeds today, and 10 years, 100 years down the line, these seeds that we're planting today are the new rules.
Yeah.
Okay. Understanding personal accountability in the context of domestic violence. Personal accountability is the recognition of one's choices and their consequences. For many individuals who experience abuse, this concept can be life-altering. Often, victims feel powerless, as if their situations are unchangeable. Teaching personal accountability encourages these individuals to see that they have the ability to create positive changes, even in dire circumstances. Even the way this is written, you can see it's still a bit skewed, even though it's trying, right? Okay. For instance, research shows that individuals who engage in accountability training have a 47% higher chance of making healthier relationship choices afterward. The statistic highlights the transformative effect of understanding and owning one's actions and decisions, the role of empowerment in prevention. Empowerment is central to breaking the cycle of domestic violence. When individuals realize they are responsible for their own choices, they are less likely to remain passive. Empowerment boosts self-esteem and helps individuals set clear boundaries in their relationships. By fostering self-worth, individuals become adept at recognizing warning signs of potentially abusive relationships before they escalate. Programs focused on teaching personal accountability equip victims with essential skills to make informed choices, reducing the likelihood of returning to harmful situations. We're talking 10 to 11 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to the practical strategies later. I'm going to share the story of what I experienced.
Okay.
Again, let me make this clear. To those related to my mother, this is not about you. This is my personal story, my personal experience, my personal recollection of what I experienced. My mother, you're not here, but I'm not saying this to hurt or harm you, because I've grown to understand and in hindsight see that you did not know better. You just didn't know better. I cannot expect you to do more than you can. Yes? No, I was about 16 years old. I was in high school. I used to visit my mother and spend time there. I never really lived with her because I met her. I think when I met her, I was like 13 years old or something like that. When I met her. Yes. But I remember one day,
Okay.
yeah. I remember my mother and her partner I'm just going to tell you what I remember from what happened. It seems as though he found a piece of paper in his shoe, right? If I can remember based on my memory,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm now 44 years old, so you can do the calculation. I was 16 then. So I don't know that I have perfect memory, but I promise you that experience will never leave my mind because every time I think I like a guy, it presents itself.
Wow.
Yes, it presents itself. Raquel, you could become that. You look just like her.
Mm.
Yeah. And I think I don't know if they were arguing back and forth or whatever. And this is what my mother did. And please watch your comments and be respectful. Yes. She came in. I think my mother used to use the bathroom at nights. Like she used to have this thing, and it took me a long. I used to be like, man, I wish I could go to the bathroom like she did. Had this rhythm every night. She goes and she does a number two. I don't remember if she did this in the morning too, but I know like it's like every night. And I remember that particular time
Mm-hmm.
she used the bathroom overnight, and she didn't flush it intentionally. And then when she was arguing with the man, she sent her child or children, because I think he was one of my sister and my little brother, to scoop it out and bring it to her.
Wow.
And she poured it on him. And he got a piece of board, and I'll never forget, he hit her on her nose. It was broken. She had a scar. And I remember personally, they got upset at me because I said, I'm not getting involved in this. I'm not getting involved. I'm not getting involved. I'm not fighting. I just felt from that time, I just felt it was so wrong. Even before it got to that extent, when I heard I don't recall exactly what the conversation is, but I recall that I thought it was unfair. I did not see at the time what he did wrong. I didn't understand it. At the time, I still felt like, I feel like the aggressor was the woman. And it's not on him. I don't know if I was skewed because of how I felt about her. I
Mm-hmm.
know, but that's what happened. That happened, right? Why am I even bringing this up? I am not saying Sean Combs is innocent. Excuse me. I'm saying the aggressor is also sick. There are two victims and two perpetrators. And I think the only way we can really address this is to see it with fair eyes. Because if we keep seeing it with unfair eyes, it's only going to get worse, especially for the victim. We're not helping the victim. We're not helping anyone by telling them they're victims. Cassie, based on the reports, has been in this relationship with this man for 10 to 11 years. I cannot find it just that you stayed after the first hit and the second hit and the third hit. I don't care what syndrome you want to come up with. There needs to be some accountability, not just to her, but the witnesses that failed to report. I'm not saying people should fight for her. And I think, based on my experience of having seen and I experienced a similar thing with my sister, and God, I love her so much. She's my favorite. But she was the aggressor. And every time the police showed up, it was, this is the guilty and this is the victim. Sometimes I was one who called the police. And sometimes I had to say to the police, no, that's not what happened. And I felt like I was trying to convince them. Because there was already a mindset. This is the perpetrator, full evil, full victim. That is dangerous.
You know,
Go ahead.
Sorry to cut you. Finish your thought, and I'll chime in.
I was going to say, I don't know if you've heard me say this, but because we've worked together for a while, for a very, very long time, I think it stopped about, we're in 2025 now. I'd say it stopped maybe about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yes, about 4 years ago, yeah.
When I stopped having nightmares about my sister and her partner fighting. They're married now.
Mm.
I've seen my sister lift a board and throw in that car. I've seen what, I'm going to say it this way. What Sean Combs did was nothing compared to what is happening in our homes. What
You
Sean
know,
Combs did is nothing compared to what my mother did to me. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying we're treading down a dark road if we're not careful when it comes to justice.
yeah. You make it a good point. I think though, what it is that you have the side where males are supposed to be the protector.
Fair, that's fair.
By nature, it's like there's something about a
Should
male
be.
to be a covering, the kind of a safe place. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you can walk on the street any time of the night. If you're walking with a guy,
Mm-hmm.
there's a safe feeling that you get. Safe, And I think that
Yes.
whatever has been exposed, like I said, if I was to take out the charges opposed to other areas,
Right. Just the violence.
violence,
Mm-hmm.
it almost like makes you want to think that what we didn't see, if we saw that, what happened there is behind closed doors. Also, you think about
Right.
even a woman at her strongest is almost sometimes still weak to a man. It's almost like
Yes.
it's still like, come on, she's a baby. In that sense of the word.
Mm-hmm.
But I think also this is where I'm concerned. You have a situation where we know it's not fair, and these men have seen other men in the past,
Mm-hmm.
what they have gone through, even for less things. You're not abstract. You're not, you're aware of these things. You're also aware of the country you're in. You're
Right.
aware of scenarios where much less than that of putting people away for life and
Mm-hmm.
for a long time.
Yes.
And you would think with that knowledge and that understanding, you would kind of be a lot more on cue.
Wise. About wiser.
Why?
Do better.
I would say
Be better.
I wouldn't say why is it better, but
Okay.
you would think a little more critically, know what you know.
May I ask you something? And I
Yeah,
want to be in our conversation. I don't want us to go into a debate. Just
yeah.
remember, I don't want us to debate this. I just want us to talk. If you kick a dead donkey, will it move? I talked about this, I think, when I talked about the Shannon case. And you're right, in a key. You're so right. But safe can only come from that which feels safe. I can't, and that. Why do you think I'm saying what I'm saying? Because I want men to feel safe, or at least feel like it's fair, so they can provide safety. We can't expect men who's treated unfairly to just pretend they don't feel it and then show and give us safety. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I don't want us to debate, because this is not a debate. And God bless your heart for even saying that. And forgive me for what I'm about to say. But my intention is breakdown for self-work, breakthrough. You've heard, I've said to you, my listeners wouldn't have heard me say it, but I've said to you, thank you for staying in the ring with me. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me tell you the other sides I felt, but I never said. Right? Because I understood that. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, let me just say this. I felt like you were violent towards me emotionally. And it's no different from physical violence. As a matter of fact, I prefer you hit me. Because you remember, I've said this to you. And God bless you for even allowing me to say this, because I didn't prepare you for this. Yes? And let me be clear. Don't nobody say anything about Keith to me. In front of him, behind him. This is the guy that stayed in the ring for me to have done my self-work. At the time, Keith, I couldn't even see how I was doing the same to you. I couldn't even see if you were trying to protect me. I couldn't even see safety. I could sit here and say I felt like you were as violent to me as Diddy was on that video, except yours was not physical. I could say that. I could. What I'm trying to say is, what am I trying to say? There is something I'm trying to say. At the end of it, Keith, everybody's human and we all have 24 hours and we all have oxygen and our bodies may look different. You can't give me what you don't have. And when you understood how I felt, you met the demand. You were there. I'm speaking the truth, right? Because I've been vocal. When you got an understanding of, oh wow, you've told me I'm sorry so many times. But just imagine you are wealthy and you're going through all of this, and I drag you through it to talk about what really happened to me. But I never talk about how I participated. I never talk about how I sometimes triggered you. I never talk about the fact that I stayed. Didn't I? I remember at one point in time we started praying, and what happened? It's like we're in the middle of an argument and started praying. We went on fasting. People in interactions, Keith, especially if the interactions are authentic, we are bound to hurt each other. We will.
Yeah.
If we do not cultivate an environment of fairness and justice, we cannot expect people who don't feel like they're being treated fairly to show up and give fairness. If I feel threatened as a man, what kind of safety can I ever provide? We're lying to ourselves. We are lying to ourselves, and then when we fail, we're wondering if something is wrong with us. Nothing is wrong with you. Oh my gosh, Keith, talk about the time I used to scream at you. I didn't have to scream, Keith. I could have simply walked away. Took me a long time. As a matter of fact, let me tell you how I got it. There's a young man I know, I'm not going to call his name because, an absolute angel. And he's never really done me anything wrong. I've talked to you about this when I was trying to find myself, remember? When I had the issue, I talked to you about it, trying to learn what just happened, trying to understand it. I was so mad at this guy. You know that this guy has never led me on. This man left where he was, came here and say, let's go. I'm taking you out. I decided I wanted to stay. But after everything happened, in my mind, I hear myself say, oh, he led me on. Oh, and I had to be like, whoa. Keith, when I came to you as a man seeking your perspective, it's not because I wanted to tell you my business. It was embarrassing to tell. I was trying to take personal accountability.
Right.
And when I really look back at it, oh my God, this man never did anything wrong. Actually, he was being himself. When I look at this whole case with Sean and Cassie, Sean was being himself. We cannot tell young girls they're too young to identify that this person does not care about them. Let's not forget, there was a lifestyle.
And and for some reason or the other, as you said, we all kind of, we get things differently, we hear things differently, we interpret things differently.
Yes.
I've heard enough. I heard enough to see where I don't see where one side, me personally, is saying 100% right, 100% wrong. I heard some questions, and I was like, wow. Was answered like it was not what it is. Did you pick up the soap? Yes, I did. Did you throw the soap? Yes, I did. Did you did you date somebody? Yes, I did. Did you call? I hear the accountability being
I heard Cassie being fair. I had to respect Cassie on the stand.
So I was like, wow. I was like, man, this is incredible.
But they're not being treated that way though.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I said
I'm
earlier.
not saying this man should be oh, he didn't. That's not what I'm saying. There is a tradition, I think, a culture of the desperation to quote unquote save women cause us to desperately ignore men.
Oh yeah, that's been going on for a long time.
But but how can we do that? Then not expect a Sean Combs to be a Sean Combs?
I think what it
Yes.
is, which is kind of weird, but it's interesting,
Mm-hmm.
is that the way what's happening now, their pockets are all across the country that's doing that with a small studio. I mean, I've known people who said they're going to small studios, and they're not big names, they're not
Right.
known like that, and they
Mm-hmm.
would say, you know what, man, it's like if we're going to want to sleep with me, these men just
Right.
can't just
Listen,
want to record. So I think, so I think that.
it's a real thing.
Yeah, so I think that this case is shining such a bright light
I think it has the
that I think that
potential.
because you know why? You know why I say that, Raquel? I look at my daughter when she was younger. She was like, "Daddy, I want to be a singer," and me knowing some things in the business,
Right.
she's clueless to what
Yeah.
she thinks singing may do to her someday. Or a lot of people say, "I'm gifted." Oh, you should go to Hollywood. You should go. I was told when I was younger, I want to go have her do some prints. She can be in
Yes.
Sesame Street. She can be here. People don't know these behind scenes.
And
But the
it's not
thing
just in the music industry,
that
Keith. It happened to
exactly
me in business.
there
It
you
happened to me at the office.
there you go. You're smart. Want to go work
What
for
do
this
you
company?
do?
Work for
How
the
do
company.
we equip our young girls and boys
I think what we do
to
it right now,
stand
right?
up for them?
I
That's
think
what
I
I'm
think
saying.
I think what we do it now is to show the case, also show the unequalness of the case, the injustice, the injustice or
Hold
the justice.
everyone accountable.
Right. And so with that
And
now,
that's how we're having a
it,
conversation.
it, it can be a teachable moment as to what can happen
Yes.
on this level, on that level,
Because
because to me this is such a
pivotal.
paradigm shifting event that I think people now listen
Thank
to
you.
me. Even though I'm in power now, I
That's
have
what
the
I'm saying.
power. Let
You
me be
can lose it tomorrow.
or
You want to know that you're not
yes,
being targeted. Because to
yes.
be honest with me, to be honest with you, Keith, I see Sean Combs as being targeted, and there is no, because at the end of this, here we are talking about domestic violence, domestic violence, domestic violence, domestic violence. There will be no domestic violence charge.
That's what I'm saying. That's what's so interesting about the case.
Okay. I saw, right? I saw a conversation, the same program I was talking to you about, right? Let me see if I can find it because I'd rather read it for you. The
Yeah.
mother went on the stand. Her mother, remember now, Cassie was 19. I wanted to point that out.
Mm-hmm.
Cassie was 19, but her mother and father were present.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say that again. She might have been 19 or 21. Her mother and father were present and they were adults. What do you say about that? What do you say about that? If this was your child,
Mm-hmm.
let me find this. We've got to be fair. We have to be fair. No, we have to be fair.
it's,
Our
it's, it's,
culture
it's, it's
changed.
never gonna be fair, which is sad. That's reality.
And guess what? For as long as it's not fair, we
Yeah.
continue to suffer. Your child will suffer because you see, we think if we kill Sean Combs, I heard one person say, "Why don't you just lock him up or kill or let him just die?"
Wow.
How violent!
Mm.
You are being violent towards someone who's violent. So after you say that, then you should be under the jail too.
Mm.
I'm saying, are we even in the awareness? Because something happens and we get in our emotions and we just start, we're so triggered because we don't realize that we're being rage baited.
Mm-hmm.
And we're wrong with these conversations. Our children are listening.
Uh-huh.
Our children are listening, Keith.
Mm-hmm. And
They
and then
are
and then
listening.
hey, if you think about it, right? If you get
Yes.
someone like this and lock him up for life, he's not become more of a. He could be so much more of an asset to the world
Yes.
if he gets years, maybe, and able to speak and talk about what
And it
he
is
learned, or
mental.
maybe what he can do differently, but maybe how he can help people with that,
Yes.
with where he was and how he probably maybe came out of that kind of mindset.
Of
But if
course.
he's not
Guess what
for his
happened,
life,
right?
what can he get from him?
And that's exactly what the show is about. It's about breakdown for
Mm-hmm.
breakthrough.
Yeah.
Self-work for breakthrough. Because
Mm-hmm.
I know that this right here, the reason I'm having the conversation is because what is happening to Sean Combs is not haphazard and it's not man's doing. It's God's doing. It's God disrupting patterns. And I'm saying, let's not miss the self-work and the lessons so we can
Yeah.
have breakthrough.
Yeah.
That's why I'm having this conversation. That's why I'm having a conversation. Now, here is an email that reportedly or allegedly it was used on the stand that Cassie sent her mom. All right, let me see if I can show.
Okay. Yes.
All right, now listen to this email. To mom's new email. The threats that have been made towards me by Sean Puffy Combs are that he is going to release 2 explicit sex tapes of me, one on Christmas Day, maybe before or after, or right after, and another one sometime soon after that. He has also said that he will be having someone hurt me and Scott Mescudi physically. He made a point that it wouldn't be by his hands. He actually said he'd be out of the country when it happened.
Mm.
Have their children ever emailed you like that about one of their friends? Does that sound like a daughter emailing her mother? And this was what, 2011? Who says towards me by Sean, in quote, Puffy Combs? I don't talk like that. I'm going to say, Mommy, you know what Sean says what he's going to do? We've got to pay attention here. You're talking to your mother. Why does it sound so legal, litigious?
Mm.
It's almost like you're curating evidence.
Mm.
I'm not saying she's wrong. I'm saying, Keith, I like to know a thing is a thing. Let it be what it is. Don't play me. I don't like that. Give me for what it is. This is 2011, Keith. They were together until 2018, reportedly. You said this to your mother and none of them in real time extracted you from that relationship? Come on, Keith. We're not talking 19-year-old anymore.
Mm.
And this is what I shared this thing on Facebook some time ago. I don't remember this is another troubling thing for me that I'm concerned with.
Mm-hmm.
You have these women who present themselves as the, what do you call it? Number 10s?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? You're a number 10? You're a number 10?
Mm-hmm.
And your little daughter and my little nieces and nephews see them as the creme de la creme.
Yeah.
Don't realize they're telling them lies.
Mm-hmm.
And they have more influence over your child than you will. Feeding false information about the realities of life and relationship. And nobody should be held accountable for that. Cassie should not be held accountable for the lies she portrayed by positioning herself and negatively influencing young girls. What am I trying to say? I don't know if my point is getting across here. The more unfair we are, the more we fail to see what is real, what is true, the less chances we have of fixing it or correcting it to move forward.
Yeah, true.
It's not about beating Cassie. In fact, as anyone, this is number 13 episode of my podcast, and I always say, thank you to the people whose story influenced my self-work. I thank Cassie. I thank Sean Combs. I thank the justice system. I thank you. I thank everyone involved in this story. But we have to see, all of us have to speak what it is from where we sit. I don't expect you to have my perspective. And I expect you to speak your perspective, the truth from what you see.
Right.
The society, I believe, has become so blindsided. We don't even know what truth is anymore.
No, hey, that's that. I mean, you can say it again. You can say that again.
I'm going to ask you, with no fairness, your child sends this to you. What would you do as a parent? Do you leave that child in that relationship or talk it through, fight it through, whatever, and just stay there for the next 7 years? Or what do you do? That's your child.
That sounds very serious. That sounds like, I mean, the thing is that I'm sure that a whole lot went on, if that's a truth better, that maybe what they were trying to navigate, but probably will never be heard. But I think
you have to kill me. I would be dead. I would be dead.
but the people who I think that when it comes to life, they look at life differently and surviving and living. I mean, that's why you have a person they'll be in jail,
Yes.
and they would come out, and they would get a probation, and they decide to do something very bad, like maybe go back to the drugs again. They
Yes.
drive on the highway, the cop pull them over.
Mm-hmm.
They say, you know what? They'll spend 10 years in jail.
Mm-hmm.
If I let this cop search my car, I'm dead. So I'm gonna drive off anyway. I'm gonna take a risk and
That's
drive
what
off.
happened. In the end, if
And-
that person can say, you know what? I knew I shouldn't have done it, but I did it. I can respect you.
Yeah.
But when you show up, I think it is dangerous. The way the Cassie story is being reported is dangerous to girls. Damn it! I think it's more damaging than what Sean Combs did, because you're saying to young girls, it's okay if you remain passive. You're not expected to defend yourself. There's no role that you play in your victimhood. That's dangerous. I think you only tend to tell someone that if you really don't want violence to end. If you really truly want people to not end up in domestic violence situation, as the article was saying, you've got to teach them how to see themselves in it.
But you know what's funny about it too? I think most people, sadly, sad reality is that they don't understand the effect that they have on the culture.
Is it that they don't understand or they don't want to know?
They don't. I don't even understand.
I think some people don't want to know. Some people don't care.
I think some people just don't, it's like, believe me, a lot of people. I'll give you an example. You go to the church, you're an audience of 300 people, and you're saying, all I do is just drink on Saturday night and go to church on Sunday morning. My thing is not bad. Either what they're saying, I'm a little sex every other day or whatever. I don't have to live my life a Christian life. I'm not killing nobody. Either what they're saying, I don't take money off them once in a while. I don't do it every time. And so each person that's contributing to the defect of that organization or that body is saying, I'm a little finger.
Yes.
Little finger. I'm not that bad. But really, it's all
everybody's making a choice.
Now. So I think a lot of people don't. I'm telling you, I myself, I've been told, even when I perform, I do my music, and sometimes the way people react to me, I'm like, I don't understand why. I don't get it. I just don't understand what you get that I don't get. The effect of what I do. I mean, I remember even being I was in college and said I'm a Christian, and they've been watching me, but I don't think I'm a normal kid. I'm just going to school.
Yes.
And I was like I would go to them and they're like, what are you doing here? That's what being here. You don't belong there. I'm thinking, but I'm a normal kid, but they don't see you that way. But you don't
right.
You feel normal. You feel like I'm a whatever, But a lot of people, they don't understand how the weight they carry.
And do you think that could be because we're not teaching people self or personal accountability?
100%.
Themselves.
100%.
And it makes us more vulnerable.
Yes.
If every night I go outside, there's a bear standing out there, and I keep going out there, and one day the bear eats me.
Yeah.
What are you going to kill the bear for? I am not saying.
I must say, I must say this though. I must say this though. There's been I would say a entrapment, and there's a disguise.
Yes.
People don't come
in some cases.
In usually up front to say, hey, in this world, that's what we do. We don't do what we do. They kind of give you a lot of phase agent, kind of, translucent, not transparent, not opaque, but just enough to see through and to get you to be interested. But then in the back end of it now is where you say, well, if you want to leave now, you leave now. We're going to do this, and we're going to do that. And then you start seeing this. People are really mean. They're not as kind as they presented themselves when they came up and say, hey, we take care of her and we'll so and so on. And then all of a sudden you start seeing the real thing comes out. So I don't think people.
And you are still accountable for your role in it. Because you see, even in this, right, it's not just Cassie. I'm saying, hey, Cassie, you should hold yourself accountable. I'm talking about the people. Like I said, one of the guests on that program was a former CIA agent. And
Mm-hmm.
another person, she was another, I think, she was another quote unquote expert voice as well. Now,
Okay.
here you have these expert, quote unquote, expert voices having conversation, and none of them speaking of accountability.
Oh, wow.
But that's what I'm talking about. It's not so much that I'm saying, Cassie, you should take up. No, let's say Cassie. Let me tell you how I see it. Cassie and Sean Combs were equally sick because he expressed violence towards her and she stayed. Both of them, something's wrong. They both need help. Sean Combs needed help too. And I remember when you were saying, if that happened in public, what happened behind doors, that was behind doors. They never thought that video was coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So that was not him standing in public hitting her. That was the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I think it's important for to
Right.
be fair, or to try to be as fair as possible. You know what I mean? Right? They were just, if there is no way I can look at someone constantly hitting me and thinking he's okay.
I don't think that was the case. I think it's a little deeper than that. It's almost
Nobody
like
can tell me that Sean Combs does not have a problem. The man was, they're saying, even the videos
Oh, yes.
she told, reportedly on the thing, she told her mother he's gone dark. He is that high. You literally just said the man is incapacitated because of drugs. But everybody is holding him accountable as though he had 20/20 vision like you and me, Keith.
I know. Yeah, yep.
So why does he get to be a complete monster? Don't care about what he's gone through. Believe you me, Keith, I'm finally beginning to understand when men say, it's like, I don't matter. I never got it. Because I kept saying, but you're supposed, and I still hold that. I still hold men accountable for it because the result of where we are is because of your leadership as a man. This is the result of man's leadership.
Yeah.
Yes. And I think one of the big issues is men are not taking accountability. Not taking accountability for where we're at. And I think that women, Keith, I'm more afraid of women than I'm of men. I think, let me tell you something. I don't underestimate Cassie. I'm a woman. I do not underestimate Cassie because Sean was just as vulnerable, if not more vulnerable than she was. Just imagine, you can always go tell on him. She could have always gone and told on him. When you're going to send such an email to your mother and father, and when I hear the mother coming in there, talk, lady, hold a seat at far back. Because you're all sick, all of you all. And until we recognize their sickness, nobody's going to go seek treatment. You stayed and allowed your child or adult, because it could also be that she couldn't even stop her child from staying there. Let's talk the truth now. You say to her, you need to leave. And she says, oh, I love him. She literally said, Keith, she did it because she didn't want him to do it with somebody else. You know, one of the things I had to sit myself down and say to myself, Racquel, why are you so heartbroken when there's a guy that you like that he doesn't want you? Doesn't he have the right to not love you just like you have the right to love him? Doesn't he have the right to love? A lot of times we have resentment against men, and it's not because they've done something wrong. It's because we're not getting what we want from them. I don't even think we're aware, because Keith, I'm telling you, I wasn't aware of it either. I wasn't doing it intentionally. I didn't realize it until I took time to work on myself.
Yeah.
And to question myself. And this is something I always do. And what I'm saying in this moment is, we've got to do that. Even the cases, and I wanted to talk about his kids.
You see, Racquel. See, your approach won't bring money. Your approach won't bring sensation.
Right there.
Your approach won't bring the excitement.
Right there.
You know, and it's like you have bad news spread faster than good news. I mean,
yes.
What's the news about? It's about.
And who cares that our kids are listening?
Yeah.
And
it doesn't sell. Not sensational enough.
And soaking it in. Now, what about his children? Even for me, I felt like the way the authorities handled this thing with Cassie, I think it was violent to Cassie. Why didn't that need to be a part of the bench trial? Why couldn't it have been a bench trial? Why do we need to know she's had over 100 freak offs with different men? Why do we need to know
about
that?
The same thing. I thought about the same thing too. It's an
And
overkill.
even though I say that right, guess what happened? My mind also goes back to, but Racquel, now she has liberty, she has freedom. It's no longer on her. It's out there. Can't use it against her.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
I'm not saying my perspective is right,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just having a conversation with you.
Yeah.
I think about his children,
Mm-hmm.
her children. And there's this man out there, his name is Aldi Shore.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you're a parent, I'm not. If your child's mother, let's say your child, right? Let's say your son was raised by another man who he calls dad. Your child's mother passes away, and the media is saying that the man who the child now calls dad did it. Would you run around town without evidence and echo that sentiment?
Wow. Goodness.
Would you? Or would you at least leave it until there's evidence, or do your own research, remembering, because this is it, right? When I get at that man is the foundation upon which my son stands. This man is the arms in which your child lays. So you're just going to shake him over just like that with your child in his lap, with no evidence, by the way. And the closest people to her are coming out to say, you should stop doing that. That's just not true. You weren't close to her. Such a person cannot have me think they're doing it for the right reasons. You understand what I'm saying?
It's a real mess.
Wouldn't you want to protect your child? If right now you know your child's mother is doing something, wouldn't you want to approach it a certain way?
Of course.
You would be thinking about your child who's laying on her lap. Right? Wouldn't you be thinking, this is going to affect my child, do I want to be public with it?
Exactly.
Maybe you need to do something private. I don't know. I'm just saying that the way the things are happening, I've never been wealthy, but I don't have to be wealthy to know. How Sean is being treated is how a lot of employers are treated. People treat employers like you're obligated to hire me, you're obligated to pay me, and God help you if you don't do it because I'm going to make sure your business crash. I've been there.
Yeah.
I have fired employees who are not working, and they come from me with. I remember one time, the entity that's in charge of labor, they contacted me about this person who was a contract, but the person went and said they're my employee and I didn't pay them and I let them go. And I had to hold them accountable and say, you are the authority and you didn't do your research? Because if you had done your research, you wouldn't have called me. Where are my rights?
Right. Wow.
If you had done your research, you wouldn't be calling me. You'd have known that where's the employee contract that she gave you to demonstrate that she was an employee? Not even the basic evidence did they require.
Wow.
What am I trying to say? I'm saying, Keith, we have built a culture on this quote unquote good bad, and whoever we think is the poor or whoever we think is the most vulnerable in our minds, not who's vulnerable, who we think is more vulnerable.
Who we think.
We automatically feel this is who we should protect for. This is who we should protect. This is who we should defend. And it's almost as though the other person is an entire different entity, like an alien. Yet we expect these same persons to go back and function around the very victims you claim to protect and be normal and cool. I say we plant seeds, then blame trees. We plant seeds and blame trees.
Wow.
You plant the seed and it grows up. Now it's become a tree, you have a problem. But you planted the seed.
You said something very important earlier. And I think this kind of should encapsulate what we discussed today.
Right.
That a lot of times God allowed these things to happen. It
shows
caused
herself.
breakdowns because
Yes.
some things in life has to be a restart.
Yes.
Reborn, rebirth. Because there are stories I can pivot to. That are considered Bible stories where
Yes.
things got so bad and so overwhelming that
Yes.
they restart because
Mm-hmm.
there's so much, and that's being exposed. There's so much around that we don't even see what's taking
Right.
place. That sometimes I think shaking. Sometimes when there is injustice at a certain level, sometimes people are crying out. You know, I cannot underestimate my inner impressions and feelings, and sometimes calling downloads or revelations. Sometimes you can't put words to it, but you go by
Yeah.
that vibration, like
Yes.
take off the mask and the cords and everything, and what do you really feel inside your heart?
Yes.
When you feel, because I think we're larger than we think, we're bigger than we think,
Yes.
we know more than we think, we
Mm-hmm.
understand more than we think we understand. We're spirit beings in a body, because
Yes.
we're not that aware of how it works and how it really operates. We kind of have this short thing to kind of explain it, but I think a lot of times we feel these things are really real. Like we can't, and sometimes when we say something like conspiracy theory, like, oh, what they
Yeah.
say doesn't make sense. It's like when kids are talking to things like, who are you talking to? And the kid is like,
Yeah.
I'm talking to some, it's right there, don't you see? And the kid is saying, it's real to me. You're like, come
Yes.
on, that's just nothing.
Yes.
So we can feel things. So I tend to go not just what I hear and see and
Mm-hmm.
absorb and try to
Yes.
find
But
my
the
own
instinct, that
solution
inner
in, but
voice.
what I really feel that something's
Mm-hmm.
wrong here,
Yes.
and
And
I think the magic word. We talk about trauma. Everything starts somewhere, and only
yes.
God. And when people do certain things, only
Yes.
God knows where they
Only
came from,
God knows.
what they got it
Exactly.
from. And as you mentioned in your
Exactly.
story, I'm like,
Yes.
I never heard it before. I was like, a bullet hit me. We're like, what? You
Mm-hmm.
went through that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm like, my God, I've never heard it
Yes.
before. And
Yes.
I'm like, oh, Keith, what you went through,
Mm-hmm.
not even close to that. That's like,
Yes,
that's
and I'm telling you, Keith, people are going through things different. All people.
wow.
When I look back, even in Sean's case, even just looking at the case, I sit myself down and I'm like, wow, this man has gone through some things. Some things are happening here, and you see, in light of even with what you just said, even
Mm-hmm.
with everything I just said to you, I
Yeah.
say this: I still know that everyone is exactly what they're supposed to do, supposed to be, doing exactly what they're supposed to do. And I'm going to speak my truth of it, but I'm never asking you to change what you're saying.
Yes. Yes.
But I know the importance of my voice
Yes.
added to the conversation. So
That's
I'm
right.
not trying to tell them to stop.
Yeah.
Let all the voice come together as a chorus.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why the Bible says that the wheat and tear grow together. Grow together. um, and perhaps that's why somebody like me is here. I really never really used to listen to Sean Combs. I was never really. It's after this whole thing. I'm like, okay, let me go check something out. I've heard his songs. I didn't know anything. I didn't know it was his songs. I'm really a country. It's really country that I listen to a lot.
I know. Yeah.
When I did this thing, wait, it has been weighing on me from the. When I tell you, I've been praying for this man from the beginning of thing, and I'd be like, what is that? What is that that I'm feeling? What is it?
Mm.
And I think for me what happens is whenever I feel like a hammer is being used to kill an ant, the empath in me comes out, I think.
Yeah.
And I think another dangerous part of lack of fairness is that victims can be further victimized.
True. True.
you know I just want to wrap this up with thank you, Keith, for having this conversation with me. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
I just want to wrap it up by sharing practical strategies for teaching personal accountability. And I'm just going to do the headline. And as a matter of fact, this article is going to be coming out on a website that I'm working on. It's not finished yet.
Nice.
Um, allegedly.blog. Still working on it because this one I'm taking my time. Number one, workshops and support groups. Number two, life skills training. Three, education on healthy relationships. Four, encouraging reflection. Building and supporting network. One, creating an environment of trust. See, fairness. You see, people are not even saying was he right or wrong. They wanted the appearance of fairness is important to create trust. Utilizing peer mentorship. And then you have breaking down stigmas and barriers, normalizing conversations about abuse. Let us be able to talk and say what we're saying, which is why I would never shut somebody up, even if I disagree, right? Yeah. Combating shame, because sometimes shame too is why they don't take accountability, because they think we're going to judge them further. They know what they've done. And then you have the journey to self-empowerment, fostering resilience, creating lasting change. A hopeful path forward. And I wrap up with this. Teaching personal accountability to individuals who have faced abuse provides a crucial pathway toward breaking the cycle of domestic violence. By empowering them to control their lives and actions, we pave the way for prevention and healing. And I'm going to close this, and then I'll let you say your final thoughts by saying, there's an angel that entered my life in 2016, and I'm so thankful to him. I'm thankful to you too, because you stayed in that ring with me. And what staying in the ring with me, what I mean by that is you did not abandon me as I was finding my voice. As painful as that might have been for you, there's no, it wasn't painful for you, because it was painful for me. So I know it was painful for you, and I just say thank you so much for such kindness. You never left when I screamed, when I shouted, when I and I needed that, because you need you need real life experiences for techniques to become solidified, right? And what that did was it helped me realize that, okay, everyone is not going to run away, so you don't have to scream and shout, because the screaming and shouting is fear. It's trying to get it all out, because you want to get all out before they run away. You want to make sure you put everything out there. So really and truly, what I needed was a hug. I didn't need criticism. I didn't need, oh my God, how she talks a lot. Why you let her talk to you like that? All of that is gaslighting and unhealthy and unkind. That's not generous. Like I said, I remember when I was screaming, I wasn't trying to be cruel, but I was cruel. Sean's violence is him screaming out too.
Yes.
Cassie's staying there was her screaming out too.
Yeah.
Right? And I met this angel in 2016, and I tell you why his thing was so different. And boy, I tell you, I tried to thank him so many times to the point where I thought that he couldn't hear me. And I feel like he has finally heard me. And it was so amazed when it happened, because I'm like, closure. I literally felt something in my soul say, finally, I got to say what I had to say. I remember when everything happened, and I was blaming him for things he never did. And all I got was gentle kindness. When I tell you, the only response I got was, I never even knew how much I needed gentleness, Keith.
I got you.
All the man gave me was pure gentleness. I've never gotten that in my life before, because people were too busy criticizing and judging me and blaming and making a monster out of me to help me. If you help me, I will still face my consequences. Caring about Sean Combs will not limit his consequences. He will still face his consequences. But we don't have to use a hammer to kill an ant. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yours. Your final words.
I would say this.
Yes.
Thank God the people like you in this world. All right.
Oh, wow.
And again, it does show that amongst all who may see and express themselves one way about the situation, or any given situation,
Yes.
there are those who help to push balance, to push fairness. The other day I made a video the other day, and I said, "Isn't it amazing how I started driving my car? And I didn't understand about the mechanics of a car, but one day the battery died.
Yes.
And I didn't understand how the battery works. God came and said, Keith, There's a negative side of the battery. There's a positive side of the battery.
Yes.
Put the card on the negative side first. Then where's the negative side? So for the car to run
Yes.
and do well and take me to my destination, I need to have the negative side
And the positive.
and the positive side working together cohesively
Yes.
to make the car run.
Absolutely.
So we can learn from these things.
Yes.
Understand that we can now become more self-aware.
Yes.
So when I look at something, what's my impulses? What is my biases? Why do I want this? Why do I feel hate? Why do I
My
feel
biases.
love? Why do I feel
Yes.
confused? And
Yes.
be a little more introspective on that. I
Yes.
think even though we can't touch these people or touch their lives, but we can touch our lives.
Yes.
And become
Yes.
better.
Yes.
That's my life.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And I just want to wrap this the right where you said the negative and the positive. David's story,
Yes.
or rather Goliath's story, was
Mhm.
just as important as David's. Thank you so much. I just want to say, guys, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to Sean Combs, Cassie Ventura, their parents, their families, the justice system, the prosecution team, the juror, the defense team, the media people, the social media people. I just want to thank everyone in this story, but I especially want to thank Cassie and Sean for their breakdowns that is inspiring us to have these conversations so we can do our self work, so we can benefit from what God is doing in their lives and get breakthroughs from it. That is the reason we do this. Keith, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much.
You're welcome. It was great being here.
You just showed up. You're one of my angels, and I just say thank you humbly. Thank you so much.
Yes. And let me just say to the audience, please subscribe to
Yes.
this
Go
channel
ahead.
here, guys. Please subscribe
Thank you.
because she has a lot to bring and there's so much more here to come. So
Oh, that's
I'm
so sweet of
excited.
you. And I also want them to subscribe to your channel and tell us a little bit about what you do on your channel. I know you talk about online. I kind of get from your channel like you're going through how to navigate the online space and reap the good fruits from it.
Yes.
That's kind of what I get from your channel. And
Yes,
his channel is Keith Merritt on YouTube.
Yes.
Next
Yes.
Level Living. Go
Yeah.
ahead and tell us something about it. Share the link again, and I'll add those links as well to the description of this video. Go ahead.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. I mean, if I can just give it a nutshell, it's
Yes.
really, again, I have to do with my breakdown of being online, in the online space for 20
Yeah.
years. And I think that the wisdom of someone who's been around online for a while can
Yes,
help us
absolutely.
navigate some and avoid some unnecessary
Yes.
spend enough money, spend enough your time, because many
Yes.
people, many families see the online world as a way out. They don't like
Yes.
the 9 to 5. They don't see themselves in that area,
Right.
kind
Yeah.
of routine, and they see this another way out. And the reality is that there's a lot of trappings in there, a lot of things that you gonna find that wait a minute, it's not what it sounds. It seems like. So me having that experience, I can offer something to you that lets me get your understanding, get your mind in a space where you're approaching it systematically, but also in a very comprehensive kind of approach,
Yes.
because their success is online.
Yes.
Success is online, but also you can waste a lot of time. You can destroy a
And a lot of money.
relationship, and behind the curtain, you know what's going on there. That can be
Yes.
very, very, very hard. When you have those hard falls, you wonder, it's like it can affect you moving forward with other great things.
Yes.
So my idea is that I want to share with you to consider thinking about something more strategically, opposed to like, here it is, looks good, let me grab it and go.
Approach it with personal accountability.
Yes.
That's the same thing you're saying.
Yes.
So you're coming back to teach, having taken your own personal accountability. See,
Yes.
and that's the power of accountability. If you don't see where you've made a mistake, you have
Yeah.
nothing to teach.
There you go.
But the moment you realize, I've made 20 years of errors,
Yes.
I can teach you how to navigate the web and not have a greater loss as I have.
Yes.
right there, right there. Thank you so much, so much, so
You're
much, so much.
welcome.
God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you. You're
All
welcome.
right, take care.
Yes.
And now we're gonna go to our next segment. So thank you so much for staying with us for allegedly. Okay, okay. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for staying with us so far. Now, the next package. Ah, I think this one now is it's this. We have these two. Uh-huh. Remember, personal information. Always remember every single package. Remove your information. Right? For every single package. Do not skip it. Ah. All right. Oh, yeah. Ooh, I like it. Ooh, me like it. It's weird because it's see-through, but it's still thickish. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's that. Now let's go to the other item. See this one. Yeah. 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 Oh, yes. Look at that. Oh, hold on. Okay. 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 So it has its manual, one audio manual. Guide. Okay, and this tool comes with multiple, right, it has the, right, different sizes. Yeah. Oh, very nice. It comes with different sizes. See? Comes with different size. I hope you can see it. I like it. I really like it. Oh, wow. I like it. We have more to go. More to go. Ooh, it has a bag. Cute bag. Nice material. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Ooh, baby. Okay. Ah, look at that. I can't wait to use it. And you see, it has two inputs. So you put a different size, right? For the different sizes. Very nice. Exactly what I ordered. I got exactly what I ordered, baby. Exactly what I ordered. Yeah. And now, Okay. Now let's go on there. Another one. And now we're going to this one right here. This is the one, so let's go with this first. Should have gone for the smaller ones first. Alright. Alright, so that is this. Ooh. Right? So okay. Right. Alright. Oh, hang on. Okay, so it has a hose. The things, can't let anything fall out. Manual, the guide. Don't want to lose anything now. Just show you. Ooh. There we go. There we go. This is to go on the wall, the different parts. And the second one. Got a shower, the one you can take off and move around. So that is that. All right. So we have another field to open. All right. So let's go to this first. Yeah. That first. So here this is. It's good. Nice. It's because I got this because I got a one before. You'd have seen me open one before. Maybe on my other channel or something. I don't remember which channel I did it on. A spoon, the utensil holder, but it doesn't have a cover. It's for the drawer, but it doesn't have a cover. I definitely need one that has cover because I like my utensils covered. Yeah. So that's why I got this. Now, what's this? Let's see what this is. Today's a good day. Every day's a good day. All right. So this is next. I think that's what this is. I'm not sure. But we'll see, won't we? Is it? Oh, that's not what it is. All right, let's open this one first, since that's the one you're looking at. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Ooh. Wow, I love this. Oh my gosh. Very thick. Very thick. Very thick. Oh, and I dropped the pencil. Very thick. Ah, I like the quality of this. Ooh, yes. Oh my gosh. This, the front seemed like silicone or something. So it's like cloth, silicone, cloth, silicone. Yeah. Oh, these are nice. I love these. Wow. I love these. I love them. I've been getting burns, baby. I've been getting burns. Okay. And the final one for today is the bag. I've been trying to get a small bag, and each time I buy a bag and it comes, it's too big, so I have to go again. I am hoping that today this one is small as I'd like it to be. But why do I have a feeling I might still have to get a smaller one? Sometimes I just want a small little bag, you know? Nothing too big. Yay. Ooh. Oh, nice size. Can carry my tablet. Yeah. There you go. See through. Love it. There we go. And it has a front pocket, so. Very well. Very well. I love it. Oh. I can extend the arm, the strap. The strap can be extended. Right? Oh, there you have it. There you have it. All right. Okay. And there's a lot of garbage right here. Right here. A lot of garbage at my feet. Wow. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the grants that we have.
Are you an entrepreneur or business owner looking for ways to increase the business cash flow? Well, you're at the right place. Go grab your pen and paper, then let's begin.
Bear in mind, conditions apply. All grants have specific deadlines. For more information, please visit our website at www.mycoachministry.com. Scan this QR code now and begin.
Funding opportunities within the United States. Amazon's Black Business Accelerator, Amazon Literary Partnership Grant, Amber Grants, Another Chance Small Business Grant, Bank of America's Business Education Center for Entrepreneurs, Black Ambition Prize, Chick-fil-A True Inspiration Award Grant, Clever Girl Finance, Coffee Futures Fund, Collab Sustainable Mobility Accelerator Program, Comcast Rise Grant, Creative Business Boost Grant, Etsy and Hello Alice, Forum Foundry Accelerator, Foundation for Financial Planning Grant, Fund Her Future Program, Generator, Great Lakes Innovation Accelerator, Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses, Her Rise Micro Grant, Home Depot Foundation's Veteran Housing Grants Program, Hugh Capital and Desmond Fontaine Foundation Catalyst Grant, Idea Cafe Small Business Grant, Jobber Grants for Home Service Businesses, Josephine Collective, Military Entrepreneur Challenge, Minority Business Circle, Mona Access to Capital Initiative, Creators Momentum Business Accelerator, Empower Her Grant Boundless Future Foundation, First Interstate Bank System Foundation grants, NASDAQ Foundation Quarterly Grant Program to empower diverse entrepreneurs, Nearshore Grant, Next 1B Program, Nove Grants Database, NSF Seed Fund, Pathway to Opportunity, Restore Her, micro grant, service to CEO program, small business readiness for resiliency grant, small certified supplier innovative finance program, Spark Lab, Spur, which is shared purpose unlimited reach pathways. So that's Spur pathways. That's Spur shared purpose unlimited reach. Yeah. Start small, think big. Substack Creator Accelerator Fund, TD Charitable Foundation grants, This Woman Knows grant, Trust Nonprofit grant, Uptide Accelerator, US Venture Schmidt Family Foundation grant, Veterans Business Outreach Center, Warrior Rising grant, Wish Local Empowerment Program, Women Founders Network Pitch Competition, Yippity Do Big Idea Grant, Zen Business Free LLC formation for moms, Zendesk Tech for Good, and that is the final one for the United States based specific. And then of course, if you need state specific opportunities within the United States or anywhere really, if you're looking for a country like if what you're looking for is not here and you'd like some support for us to do some do some digging for you, some research to find grants based on where you're located, then there you are. Hit that button, ask coach, or ask anything, or scroll down to the comment section right down here and leave the request there for us. Please remember when you're leaving your request to leave sufficient information so that we're able to get the information that you need that's useful to you. If your information is vague, it may be challenging for us to understand what you're asking. So please, when you're leaving a request, make it very, very clear what you'd like for us to do. Tell us about your business and who you are, what your business is about. Give us as much information as possible so that when we do our research, we will be able to find the best grants that are available to you. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. Oh my goodness, wow. Oh my God, what a blessing. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage. Mwah. Goodbye. I love to open new packages. There will be the latest information on the top funding opportunities for entrepreneurs who are seeking funding. Come along with me. I'm Coach Racquel, and this is a passion project for me, so I am so happy to bring this to you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for watching.
Unlock your potential every Thursday with our podcast, Refresh, Relax, Renew. Join Coach Racquel as she guides you through personal development journeys. Each episode focuses on actionable steps to enhance your personal journey. The podcast features 3 main segments to keep you engaged. We start with discussions on trending topics relevant to your growth. Then we unbox solutions to common challenges we face daily. Finally, stay updated with fresh funding opportunities each week. Tune in every Thursday for new episodes, and see you there.